do something strange for some change, man.
We out here. Yeah, microphone. Yep. I'm gonna show y'all that I think making beats is easy. I think anyone can do it. Genuinely. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with this sample, and we're gonna come over here to the time stretching mode. Set this to project tempo. And if we look up here, this says 140, and that's what my tempo was set at. So now we're going to go over into our mixer, select a bunch of these, and then we're going to right click, route to this track only, and that's going to route all of these to this mixer track. And I'm going to add a soft clipper so it doesn't distort a high decibel mix. So it's at G right now. Let's change that to stretch from G, A, B, B, B. How that sounds. I like that. I don't like that side though. But now that we have it set to the project tempo, we can change the tempo and it'll stay snapped to the grid and it'll stretch for us. I have my drum kit over here. I could kick it, sounds good. I like this one. We're just going to make a pattern that gives us a good groove. And another thing we can also do is take another kick. You don't have to make a new kick by making it unique right here. So just take the kick and turn the volume down right here. Let's do about 2.5. I think that's a pretty decent pattern. You really can put it just about anywhere as long as you use half beat at 156, or if you're at half speed, you do quarter beat, but we're in double time. So this would actually be the equivalent of 78 BPM. I'm not the best in that. Oh, snare. You want to make sure you grab sounds that are going to match the vibe that you're going for. And then most of the time, we have our snare just on the 2, actually in this case, 3rd beat. Yeah, 3rd beat instead of the 2 and the 4. Now we'll do the hi-hat, also known as a closed hat. And then start with, I'm just going to do this and see how the groove sounds, but if it's too much, we can change it. But I think this is going to be a good read. I'm just going to take the one hi-hat away from before the snare, and I think that's a better read. Now to add some distortion, I'm going to boost the gain, not going to clip it, and then we're going to bring the kick down. I like that. Sounds like it's kind of in key, but it's a kick, so it really doesn't have any tonality. You're really just going for the least amount of dissonance, in my opinion. Now I'm going to do some open hats and some crashes and cymbals and some rides. I like doing rides. Most people, I don't hear people doing a lot of rides in trap and hip hop, but I think they sound cool. That's cool. I'm really just going through and grabbing what I think sounds cool. And then another technique that I like to do to add some sound to my beats is you'll come down here and we'll take the whole track of hi-hats while pressing Alt, press Alt, left click, and then we're going to drag. You see it snaps. I do about 2 to 4 snaps. I think 2 would be good. And then we'll do the same with the kick, but instead of bringing it this way, we're going to do about there. I'm looking at the waveform right here to look for where peaks are. That's pretty advanced, but the only thing you really need to know is all we're doing is making the kick hit just slightly before the hi-hat. And then I'll move the snare just slightly forward just so we can get, so it doesn't sound like it's hitting a long time after the kick, and then a kick is happening really fast. You don't want it to sound like this. I'll show you guys what we're going to avoid before I show you what we want it to sound like. You don't want this at all. It doesn't groove right. It may sound cool and it may have tempo, but it doesn't sound right. So we're going to do it like this. This is what you do want. Now we can do the 808. I like to do the 808 last because then you can just match the 808 to the groove. You don't have to make your own groove with the 808. the 808 drug in. As you can see, it's on C0. We actually need it to be on C5. Add that to a track. We put this sample in B. That's in B. As you guys can hear, it's not dissonant anymore. It has the sound. It sounds in key. When it comes to 808s, you want to have it pretty close to your drum groove. You don't have to have your 808s hit exactly on your kick. See, like this is a good example. It's not hitting on the second kick, and here there's no kick, but it'll sound good. I'll actually do that trick right here. Because I want it to hit on the 4, not before the 4. Or I guess what I want to say is I want it to have more impact on the 4. I'm going to bring the low pass filter down some more. The kick has what's called a transient, and in this kind of music, I like it when it's just a little subby thump instead of like having a whole transient and high end. I usually do as minimal high end in modern hip hop as possible. It looks like the majority of the sample sounds good in the root note. So I'll show you guys a trick. Let's go to the declicking mode and we'll set that to generic. And then we'll just take the front of everything, and that'll just remove clicking from the beginning and ends from that track, but we need to do that to this one too. That back a tiny bit, that forward a tiny bit, and then move it right there. So I'm going to show you guys an 808 trick. When the 808 needs to stay pretty close to the root note, you don't have a lot of manipulation in the bass notes in your sample. But if you want some more movement in the 808, you can either do an octave up, or sometimes I like to do either 5 semitones down or 7 semitones up, and that would be your 7th, or actually, yeah, 5th. I'm not classically trained, so don't pull it. Over here, let's do and just like that, we have the start of a beat. Now we need a different sound for the rest. So what I will do, switch it up a notch. So what I did is, being as we're in Stretch Pro mode, And we've already pitched it up 400 semitones. We can't do another 1200 semitones because the max we can do with this knob is an octave, 1200 semitones, or cents, I should say, 12 semitones, 1200 cents. So in Stretch Pro, we can go into the keyboard, move it from C5 to C4, which in other stretching modes will shorten the length of your track because it's speeding the samples up to try and get the higher pitch. But for the Stretch Pro mode, it keeps your sample length, and it doesn't stretch the length sample. More is it morphs the actual sound into a higher pitched sample, I guess. While also keeping the formants too, so we can change the formants if we want. That sounds pretty cool. I could rock with that. And I mean, when it comes to beats like this, it doesn't have to be amazing. You want, especially in hip hop, you want to prioritize groove and vibe more than actual like sound quality. Because if I actually was taking my time and making a good instrumental and actually doing something, like if I was working on a rock instrumental right now, I would be mixing the ever-loving crap out of this thing, trying to get it to sound good. But this is trap, dude. Nobody cares. Just crank that fucking 808, put a chop-ass snare in there, and you're pretty much ready to go. I think this beat is dog shit, but it's a beat nonetheless. Let's make something decent now. I'm actually going to take my time with this one, show y'all how we actually do this shit. I'm not going to sit down and explain things because this isn't a tutorial. I just did that. And that wasn't even a very good tutorial. That was more just me vaguely explaining what I'm doing. start with the 808 first. That's right. I just guessed, but I was right on what key it was. That's what I was talking about, low subby thump. Just want a thump. Don't need nothing crazy. Pretty sure I have horn samples. Alright.